Welcome to the FMCG Guys, the podcast that dives into the innovation, strategy, and trends shaping consumer goods and retail in Europe and beyond.
Welcome to the FMCG Guys podcast. This is Daniel Torres here speaking from my cold and gray Barcelona just before Christmas and New Year's, which is actually when we're going to be releasing this episode, exactly between Christmas and New Year's. And I'm accompanied by two people that you may have heard of. It's my dear co-host, Efrain and Christine. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Daniel.
You're not used to being
well.
together in the same place, eh?
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't want to overstep. I didn't want to.
Yeah, me
ladies
neither.
first.
Good. I'm doing very well. First day of winter holiday. So out of office emails are on,
Nice.
and this feels really good.
Nice. What how many holidays are you taking? Will you be able to take much off or not?
Yeah, I'll be like for a couple of weeks. And
Nice.
the official kind of holidays are falling quite nicely in this calendar this year, so that helped.
What does a Greek Christmas look like? What are the important days?
Okay, first of all, it looks like eating, lots of eating. That's the number one. But important days are the 25th. And on the 24th, children go around for carol, and we give them money. And then on the 1st of the new year, also like families get together. 31st of December is another carol day where again we give money to kids.
So you have all these like Christmas songs of like that speak about a young Jesus and so on, as we have here, I imagine, no?
Yeah, we have young Jesus, but also like wishing well for the new year to the household and kind of like the Lord and Lady of the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of our Christmas songs are like about Jesus and Bethlehem and all these things, but also some of winter, I guess. I don't remember.
And also the Greek equivalent or Orthodox equivalent of Santa Claus coming and bringing like gifts and stuff.
So you don't have Santa Claus?
We have, but his name is Vasilis, which is like so his Saint Vasilis, which is like has a different backstory, but he's a Coca-Cola Red for many years now.
Oh, and then so do you have Santa Claus as well or not?
So it is the same figure.
The same person.
It's the same person, but it's under the lore of a saint of the church, which is like Santa Claus is Saint Nikolaou, which is like Nikolaos in Greek, which is just a different name.
Oh, okay. And you, Efrain? Well, I guess that you have like the American tradition.
I have lots of different traditions I can try to share. I mean, I guess there's the ones from the Netherlands, which is Sinterklaas, which is this Saint Nicholas person. So they actually started that, I guess, in early December, right? So like most people in the Netherlands would celebrate, actually like have already celebrated, right? And kids have already started to get, like candy, and they come and visited, and they've gotten presents. Here in France, it's probably more consistent to like what, like I guess Western Christmas, right? That, December 25th, and Christmas Eve on the 24th. And then I guess, the other thing, I guess, and this is related to, I guess, Puerto Rico as well, is like they will also, in some of the countries here, celebrate Three Kings Day on the 6th of January, right? So it like it extends through into the next year. So like, I don't know how it is for you guys, but I've got some work colleagues who are, checking out today, and they'll be gone until the 7th of Jan. So it's like you said, Christine, it's actually kind of fallen nicely this year in terms of like when the holidays fall. So people are like, able to kind of bridge over. But yeah, same with me. Lots of food. I think I don't know, like depending on where you are, like I don't know, what do you guys typically eat on Christmas Day? Like, what's your typical Christmas Day meal? Or is it Christmas Eve that's the big meal for
So-
you guys?
So here, in Catalonia, the big meal is on Christmas Day and on Boxing Day as well.
Ah, okay.
What is this?
Boxing Day.
is here we call it Saint Stephen's. It's on the 26th, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, you have a huge meal for Christmas. I also have a lot of people also do Christmas Eve. So I think I beat you to I maybe beat you guys in terms of eating, because we have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and here it's not a holiday on the 24th, but it is on the 26th.
Same here.
Oh,
But I
really?
don't think that.
Yeah,
but I don't
same in
know,
the
like-
same in the Netherlands, actually.
There you go. But yeah, our Christmas meal here is actually pretty interesting. It's a Christmas soup. So we will have the Christmas soup. That's the first meal, the first course. The second course is the meat and vegetable the Christmas soup is made of. And then the third course is like a roasted chicken. So it's like when you're already extremely full, you'll have the chicken, and then you have like desserts, which we have turron and all these things. And then on Boxing Day, it's cannelloni, which the tradition is that you use the leftovers of the Christmas meal to do the cannelloni. Now a lot of people just buy them pre-done or have them prepared beforehand, but that's the background.
Nice. Here we do pork, I guess.
Oh,
but also lots of turkey, but I don't think that this is traditional. I think it's just kind of like imported. But the main thing is all the sweets. So we have kurabies, if you've seen the thing that's kind of like with lots of dusty sugar on top. So that's a really big thing, together with melomakarona. That's a very tough word to pronounce, I know. Which is some kind of like Christmas cookies, which are soaked in kind of like honey syrup and with walnuts on top, which is, oh my God, my father's melomakarona are like the best. Huge problem.
And people normally do them at home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a big thing, though. I mean, like, like in a lot of countries, I mean, like the US is like this as well. And Italy, too, right? Like it's about making Italian Christmas cookies or making Christmas cookies. So, like, we spent a couple hours this weekend making Christmas cookies that we gave out as gifts for neighbors.
What kind of cookies, though?
I
Like
think it
sugar
depends, right?
cookies?
So, like, it depends. You can make different kinds. So, like, I mean, like, this is where, like, the mixed heritage of my family comes in, right? Because my wife is of Italian descent, right? So she's making some Italian cookies. So she's making chocolate crinkle cookies. So like they're like chocolate cookies that are soft on the inside, but then you dip them in powdered sugar, so they look a little bit like like crackly on the top. But you can also make sugar cookies, which are the ones that traditional American, where you decorate with the icing and you put like they make them in the shapes of the snowman or the Christmas tree or Santa Claus, and the kids usually will decorate them. So we'll do those as well. And then this year she did some like brownie cookies, and we put candy cane pieces on top, so you get a bit of the chocolate with the mint. So yeah, it just depends, what we're in the mood for. I mean, like you said, I think that the sweets sound like it's consistent to all of our countries or all of our homes, right? Which is like you always eat sweets. Roast wise, like we will do so, like and I guess in the U.S. they would probably do ham. So they'll do like a baked ham, and you buy those usually at a store, and you have the baked ham, or you can do a turkey. Like we do turkey for Thanksgiving, so for Christmas we'll usually do like a beef roast. Like we just bought it actually today. Like actually, well, no, actually, Daniel, I don't know if you would approve or not because it's Irish beef. And yeah,
I approve it. I'll approve it.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking. I didn't know if I was actually. I guess if we'd done New Zealand lamb, you probably would have been more approving. But
it's fine. It's fine. No, but
anyway, but yeah,
here the sweets are not that like they're like an extra more than anything. We have like the Christmas like turron, polvoron, blah blah, and that's the kind of thing that you take out after you've eaten everything, and then you'll just sit at the table when you finish the meal, like at 4 until like 10 or 11 or 12 at night.
yeah.
So
So see, like you have that in Puerto Rico too. Like we have
long day. It's a long
Yeah.
day.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say in France though the dessert is pretty elaborate, right? So they have their bûche de Noël, which is like the Christmas log. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's
No.
actually kind of a really big deal here in France, which is that all the bakeries and all the famous pâtissiers will make like different bûches de Noël, and they'll be pretty extravagantly decorated. I mean, you can see some that are literally like pieces of art. The
I'm just Googling right now, and it
yeah,
does look
the
like
Bûche
pieces
de
of art.
Noël. If you look that up and you see that every year they have competitions about who has the best Bûche de Noël, I think for me it's almost like I'm happy to see look that they look pretty, but I want them to taste good too. So I'm always kind of looking to see what the inside of it is. But like typically people will buy those from a store, right? So like, Christmas Eve we will go and pick ours up, and that's the Christmas sweet. So it's like a cake type of thing filled with like either it's all chocolate or hazelnuts, or it could also be like, with like fruits like mango or passion fruit. But yeah, that's the French, their culinary background. They like to glam it up on Christmas.
Looks good.
So,
It looks good.
so many ways to get fat this season.
Exactly.
Yeah. But a lot of ways, a lot of reasons to be in the store too, right? So I mean, whether you're buying these foods or whether you're buying presents, I mean, obviously this is a busy time for retail as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was walking to the office today, and it's a Monday morning, Monday the 22nd, and it was chock-a-block the street. It seemed like it was a Saturday or something. It was crazy. I guess it's school holiday as well. But well, we're here today for a special occasion, apart from celebrating our mutual Christmases and New Year's, which is that normally we get to speak with very interesting people here, but we don't really speak about ourselves that much. So we thought it would be a good idea to do an episode in which people would have the opportunity to know us a bit better. And of course, we see people at trade shows and so on, and events that we do all the time. But I think it's a good opportunity to like speak a bit about ourselves and learn, and we'll probably learn some things about us, like each other, that we didn't know. So each one of us has some questions that are creative, I would say. Ale has prepared for us, and we'll be asking questions to each other. So should I start? I know that I'm asking you, Efrain. You're asking Cristina, and Christina's asking me, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a questions roulette, and we
Yeah.
don't know what those questions are.
Exactly. Well, I just opened them before, but I don't know which ones you'll ask me. Indeed, yeah. I didn't even know which ones I was gonna ask Efrain. But shall we start?
Let's go
Let's
for
do
it.
it.
Okay, so Efrain, I'll go first. What work skill do you use in your personal life without realizing it?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I would say that, well, I think there's two. So I think the first one is like being able to take, let's say, complex things, or let's say, multi-step topics, and trying to make them very, very concise and succinct. And I use that a lot of times when like I'm trying to communicate with my daughter, and trying to make sure that like I focus on like this is the most important thing I need you to help me with, or I need you to focus on for today. So that's definitely one that I think I use, and I feel like I've gotten better at that from work. I'd say the other one, and this is probably annoys my family a little bit more, it's like it's when I go shopping. It's very, very difficult when you work in this world to shop like a normal person, because like even today, like like we were out shopping and we were picking up the roast for Christmas, and my wife just kind of knew, well, like we'll go wander over to the spirits section, and let's just let you kind of wander around and look at it, and just examine it, maybe ask a question of the people while you're there, take a couple of pictures. So yeah, no shopping trip is probably complete without me having some sort of look in the drink section in some way, shape, or form.
100% like shopping is ruined forever. I just had my new intern. Has been with us for like a couple of months. She went for a personal trip to Italy, came back. How was Milan? Well, they're coolers. This and that. And I also saw this can, and I'm like, okay, we managed to ruin her in like only a couple of months. That's it. Shopping will never be the same for her.
I always remember I had a professor in like my first intro to marketing professor at business school said, when she opened the class, she said, "I'm going to ruin advertising for you for the rest of your life, because you're never going to be able to watch television or an ad in the same way again, because you're gonna like look at it and you're gonna ask yourself, well, who was this for? I don't think it was really for me. And like, did it really leave me with the right message? And do I remember what the brand was? And like, you just never watch it the same way again.
Yeah, you just code everything differently in your head.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like hard to like, get out of that analytical mindset and just kind of be in the moment. But yeah, that would be my answer to that. So I think it's my turn now to turn the tables and ask Christine you a question. What is a trend everyone loves, but that you're a bit skeptical about?
Oof, well, I have to drop the word here and say AI, but not in the sense that, it's not going to be big or it's not going to make really a difference in our lives, but the way that everything now has suddenly an AI word like in the title. Like you want to do analytics, good old programming works when you haven't nailed the basics. Like get a programmer, do proper coding, and you can do amazing stuff with statistics. But now everybody wants to have the word AI there, and assuming that this is what's going to like make everything easy, and find all the solutions. So I am not saying that I don't believe in AI or I'm using it a lot. I'm a very heavy user, but seeing this word now everywhere and just all the leadership teams are like, use AI to do that. No, I just need good old fashioned programming that works, and you're not giving me the basics and you just want me to say it's AI so that, you appease to the masses with regard to communication. So yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, what's coming to mind.
Yeah, I would imagine that I think now with AI, one of the tasks for people will be to celebrate the, as we would say in the US, the wheat from the chaff. So like what's real versus what's just been, let's call it labeled AI for the sake of being labeled AI.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it has been around for ages, right? So, yeah, I hear you on that one.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like machine learning and stuff. Like we've been doing things like economists have been working through data for a long time. So yeah, not everything is AI or needs to be AI. Okay, Daniel, your turn. So what is one thing that people will be surprised to learn about you? I'm very interested to hear this answer now.
Well, there's one thing that probably a lot of people don't know, which is pretty unique about me. It's not a good thing, but it's not a terrible thing, which is that I can't like fully stretch my arms.
What do you mean?
Like I can't like stretch my arm from like I can't stretch my arms straight. Like
That's
either of them.
unique for sure. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
can't. Yeah, I don't know. I just must have like a shorter tendon or something. They did like some medical checks on me once to see what it was. They said that maybe they'd get back to me, and I never heard back. So I guess I won't really ever know. Because I don't think I have any like that I know of. Nobody in my family has it. But yeah, are you surprised?
Yes, for sure. I didn't expect that, Thunder.
Right. So okay, Efrain, what's something you're proud of from the past year?
Well, I guess something that I'm proud of that happened for me in this last year. Um, well, okay. I'm looking to the side, and I see I have this thing that my daughter bought me with where I hang my like the different medals from races that I do. So this year, a friend of mine, um, for a belated milestone birthday, talked me into doing a Spartan race. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Spartan races.
That's like
Yeah.
the super long and difficult terrain one, right?
Yeah, it's where like you're in essence doing like you do 10. Well, there's different.
The ones that
This,
you end up full of mud.
yeah, well, you can, except in the one I did not have the mud pit, which was surprising. But what it had instead of a mud pit was I think like a 500-meter elevation change. So we basically went to the Swiss Alps, and the course went up the mountain. So you had to, in essence, like run, walk, crawl up this mountain, and in between do different obstacles. And supposed to be 10 kilometers. After 3.5 hours, we looked at our trackers and we're like, this was closer to 14 kilometers distance-wise. and it took 3.5 hours for a reason, but was probably physically the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But yeah, very, very fulfilling at the end of it.
Super impressive. Well done.
Well, especially at my age.
Yeah, I don't think I
Well,
could.
regardless, I don't think myself 10 years ago could do it. So
No, I don't know when I'll do the next one, but he's already asking.
Oh, well, there you
Thank
go.
goodness he's a good friend.
Next one?
Yeah, so my turn. Christine, for you, which app do you check the most during the day?
okay, first of all, Teams and Outlook, but if we leave this on the side, I think it's LinkedIn, most probably. I do check LinkedIn quite a bit.
More than
Yeah.
WhatsApp? Or would
More than
WhatsApp not?
WhatsApp.
Really?
I think with regards to messaging, I am getting, I have, let's say, a lot more apps that are being used with different groups of people. So you don't get one actually getting all the traffic, because I also have people on Viber or Messenger, even in Instagram sending messages. So yeah, WhatsApp won't go as high. But I think LinkedIn, I check it quite a bit because there is a lot of activity from the network, a lot of activity from the FMCG guys. So I'm trying to be on top. Okay, Daniel. So now I was also thinking about this question, like with the podcast and even with, with the headhunting and all of that, you speak with a lot of people all the time. So it must get a bit overwhelming at times. How do you switch off?
You know what? I rarely switch off just because I really like what I do. So I don't necessarily have the need to do it. But yeah, I mean, if I'm with my friends or going somewhere or traveling, it's a good reason for me to like reduce the intensity of it. And it is true that sometimes I need a bit of a break to just get back with renewed strength and energies, right? So I never completely switch off, partly because I'm running a business, but I do find ways to regulate it. And and if I don't have calls for a few days, I don't have meetings for a few days. Like for example, this year in June, like May and June were like absolutely crazy with events and travel and so on. And by the end of June, I was like, okay, I definitely need a break. So then I didn't travel the whole of July and the whole of August. And now the rest of the year, I've traveled a lot, but it's been kind of seamless. So I guess that it's just like finding a way to regulate myself. So yeah, that's a bit about it. Efrain, if you weren't working in FMCG, what would you do instead?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Well, I'm assuming by this point, being a sports player is probably out of the question. But that's everybody's like dream growing up. Like I wanted to be a baseball player growing up, or
If you were young now, you would want to be a TikToker, I think.
maybe so, or an e-gamer. Maybe that's what
Yeah.
people would want to do instead. But no, but I if I wasn't working in FMCG, I've always kind of had a niche to work in hospitality, and like either like owning a bar or a restaurant, or doing something like that where just kind of have a love for food and service. So yeah, I think I'd want to try my hand at that if I wasn't working in FMCG.
You've been kind of like adjacent to that, right? Even with your FMCG career, like the Anzio Coke.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's a little bit if you ask somebody if like they like to be a host, like that they like hosting parties, right? There's some people who like dread it, right? They're like, oh, it's like so much work and running around and like having to like, make sure everybody's like, well fed and, well yeah, just having something to drink. I like that. I enjoy it, right? So I get satisfaction from seeing people, at a party that I'm hosting, really enjoying themselves. So I don't know, for some reason I know what I do know ancillarily is like I know how hard the food service industry is. So I know that doesn't come lightly, and it's not enough just to kind of say, well, I like hosting parties. I mean, you had to be able to manage the business as well. So, but still, I'd love to give it a go. All right, over to you, Christine. My question for you is, what topic are you passionate about that has nothing whatsoever to do with FMCG?
Oof. Okay. I guess I can say the whole fantasy world thing, like Lord of the Rings. We just had also an episode with someone from Hasbro was saying how like I'm a D&D player. I also like enjoy Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess like that's a topic I'm quite passionate about when it comes to also like switching up with my friends, get in a different world, kill some orcs, the occasional dragon and stuff. Okay. Next one. We've had quite a few episodes. Well, yeah, a large number of episodes that we've recorded, Daniel. Which one was that you were most nervous to record?
Woof. It's a hard question, but I think that the ones that I was most nervous about. I mean, we had one recently with the chief executive officer of Logitech,
Yeah.
and in that case, I've normally spoken with most of our guests prior, and with Hanneke, I hadn't spoken with her. So, and at the end of the day, she's a chief executive officer, so I didn't really know what to expect. And of course, it's a CEO, so the stakes are high. So that one I was relatively nervous at the beginning, but then she was lovely with us and made it easy. And I think that when I started doing episodes at the beginning, it was also harder, right? Because I don't know, I didn't have as much practice. And I remember being like sometimes going on a run before recording an episode just to relax a little bit and get the anxiety out. So I would say these are the ones I would say. Like in the last ones, these ones, and then at the beginning it was harder as well. I mean, there's still an edge of a bit of like I mean, sometimes I'm not completely relaxed because you know that that's going to be part of your work and that people are going to listen to it. So at the beginning, it's a bit always a bit like that, but then it's fine.
Yeah, I think that once you get speaking and talking like with the guests, you get like a feeling of how they are. Some of them just roll much easier also.
Yeah, true. Efrain, do you have any weird work habits?
Any weird work habits? Wow. Okay. Like outing myself.
Or unusual?
Yeah. Um, you know, I don't know if it's weird, but there are times when I will, even though I know we obviously work in a very digital world and we're all, on screens the whole time, but maybe I'm old school in this regard, but I still love to like I always carry around with me like a stack of just plain white paper, like A4 paper, because I still, love to just be able to like literally write out, like if I'm doing a presentation, I love to write out the story, like in terms like I literally will like draw squares like representing each slide, but there's something about the writing it down and the tactile part of being able to then kind of lay those out on a table and kind of walk the presentation a bit. So, I'm sure people probably will see me like in an empty conference room, like staring at a table and like moving papers around, and they're wondering what on earth I'm doing. So maybe that is a bit strange in today's age, but I still kind of enjoy that part of it, and just kind of like I always said, just still like to carry a stack of plain white paper with me for that.
And notebooks?
Yeah, no, I have a collection of notebooks. So I mean, my wife always knows, and my daughter now too, that they can always buy me notebooks because I go through them pretty quickly. So it just, I'm kind of varied up, like, whether it's Moleskine or somebody else who I'm kind of
Yeah.
using that part. But I also, like, I hate lined paper. So, like, you can't really see it, but, like, I hate, like, papers with lines. I can do, like, graph paper, or
Yeah.
I prefer this one, which is just little dots.
The
But, like,
dots.
straight
Yeah.
lines, like the lined college ruled paper is like a pet peeve of mine. I don't like notebooks like that. I'd rather have it plain. Um, Daniel, or sorry, no, Christine, my apologies. What professional mistake has taught you the most in your career?
Mistake that has taught me the most. Actually, I won't speak about the corporate career, but rather the side hustle. So when I started at FBA, Amazon FBA business, okay, I did learn a lot. I lost a lot of time and money to learn all that stuff. But I got like design a product from scratch. So sorry, it was a business of selling yoga mats. The brand is called the Zanti, Zanti. So you can still look this up. So I got to speak with factories in China, get samples in, get all the paperwork to understand all the specifics of the product and all the claims, design the brand, the website, build everything. Like I knew quite a bit about e-commerce and working with Amazon, but the hands-on experience I got through this was incredible, and it was a complete failure. So I did start down the business a year later. I do have a lot of learnings. I even got I wrote a very small book and I published it on Amazon later with here all the things I learned from this huge mistake. But yeah, I would say that was it.
So you did like a post-mortem on the business, no?
Yes, together with a memorial service of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a complete failure. That's the only thing I would debate in what you just said.
Well, the PNL would say otherwise.
P&L is one thing, but obviously you walked away with experience from that. So
yeah, absolutely, and I do value that experience. And looking back, I don't regret it. I knew that there was risk associated with the investment, both of money, energy, and time. So yeah, it is what it is. But I learned a lot. Oh, grateful at the end of the day. So Daniel, what is the best advice you've ever ignored?
Oof. It's a complicated one, no? Because if not,
Yeah, anything from the advice that our guests are giving, perhaps at the end of the podcast.
but I don't know if they're giving that directly to Daniel, let's say.
No, but he might think
I have a lot of advice already. And just thinking, because normally, I'm a person that I tend to listen a lot, sometimes even too much of what people have to tell me. Maybe sometimes too influenceable. Influenceable, is that a word? So yeah, I don't know. Give me another one.
Another one. Okay.
Maybe Efrain has something that he advised me, and then
Oh, I don't know if I've ever done that. I'm just, but did anybody ever tell you oh, you shouldn't go and start your own business? Did anybody ever tell you that? When you started your own.
But then it wouldn't be best piece of advice.
Well, no, but it was, but it was if somebody told you not to do it and you did it anyway, and now look where you are, then,
But then it's that would be the worst piece of advice I would have ignored, no? Best piece of advice would be something I should have acted upon and I did not, no? Actually, no, I have one. I have one from a friend.
Yeah.
So I was having a lot of issues with the people that were doing my my accounting. And he was, hey, you should change your accountant. Here's a different accountant. And I ignored him for a year or 2 years. Huge mistake, because then there was a bit of a mess that I had to clean up. So there you go. Shall we do the last round of questions?
Sure, let's go for it. Maybe we can do quick fire. We'll keep them quick and punchy.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, well, along these lines, I'll choose this one. Efrain, what's the best piece of feedback you've ever received?
I guess I would say, let me pick one from one of our hosts, our guest actually shared with us, which I think I may have even referenced it before, which is this individual, and I can't remember which episode it was in, but they said, don't let others make you small. So I think find a good balance between celebrating your success, while at the same time staying humble. So that's the one for me. Christine, coffee or tea while you're working?
Coffee. Always coffee. Okay, Daniel, what do you wish people understood better about your job?
Oof. Nazale prepared some intense questions here. I think maybe understanding, I don't know, understanding what I do and like what I want to accomplish with my events, I think, and how I make them work and pay for them. Maybe that would be one of the interesting things sometimes. And also understand a bit like the criteria that we have when bringing people on the podcast. No offense, but if I had to say
Mhm.
something, it would be that. Shall we do another round? I think we have
Yeah.
time.
Roll
What's
with
the
it.
Efrain, what's one thing you've changed your mind about professionally?
I would say over the span of my career, I would say finding more time to just have more casual networking type conversations. I think earlier on in my career, I thought, you got to focus on work, work, work. And if I'm not doing something that's very related to a specific task, then I didn't see the value in it. I think the older I've gotten, the more experience I've had, the more I see that life happens in those interruptions when you're having those casual, informal conversations, and you can take as much away from those as not. Christine, what is something work has taught you about yourself that you didn't know before?
That I can be good socially. Like I was pretty awkward growing up. Being social was definitely a strong trait of mine. I'm introvert, 100%. And then somehow like people perceive me as an extrovert now because I'm kind of like, well, I'm not Daniel, but I believe I'm getting a lot better when it comes to social interaction. So that's something that I learned about myself through work. Daniel, what still surprises you about the FMCG world?
I think in general, and I don't think it's exclusive of the FMCG world, but I think it's something that we see quite a lot. People are like, one, very passionate about what they do and genuinely interested, and they're also, and the second part, which I think is the most surprising thing, is that most people will always have time, always make time to help you and give you advice and give you their time to help you grow and learn.
Yeah, it's about reaching out.
Yeah, I think that people in general, if they think they can help you, they do, right? Be it like giving you a reference or, I don't know, explaining you something that you don't understand about the industry. In general, people are very open to doing that. And I think that's fantastic, no?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Maybe should we do one question we all answer the same one just to go around? Just like I was just gonna say, maybe we throw out what is one thing we want to spend more time doing next year as we go into 2026?
Okay, I have one pretty simple. I want to spend more time doing some physical activity. I mean, I try to go to the gym like twice a week or 3 times, but I found a way to do more of that, which will be I'll just sign up because I go in the evenings because my friend convinced me to go with him in the evenings, but the location of this gym is not the best for me. So and I'm not a morning person, so I like working in the evenings. So what I'll do is sign up to a gym next to my office so I can go to the gym during the day, break up my day as well, and then I can work until later. That's not my resolution, but it will be like that and be more productive and go more days to the gym.
Yeah,
Right.
nice.
What about you,
Um,
Christine?
so I want to find more time to be creative, like either like playing music or drawing. Uh, I recharge a lot through creativity, and that's something I've been missing. And now in the new house, finally I have piano again. So hopefully I will manage to get my schedule in a way that I managed to do that this year. And how about you, Efrain?
It's probably a bit boring, but I want to spend more time reading. So, you always challenge yourself, like I want to read X number of books a year. And yeah, I just want to find time to, kind of like you, find that escape and just enjoy some time just in a good book, in some quiet time on a comfy chair. So that's the one for me.
Feels like there is a common thread in all of our answers now.
Yeah,
Which one?
holistic wellness.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think at some point I also want to like do a course or something. learn or what, because I think that I always benefit from learning new stuff.
No, absolutely.
Cool. Well, I think that, by the way, when we release this episode in a few days, I think we may release it with the new cover artwork for the podcast, which we haven't decided exactly which one it will be. We have a few candidates. We can talk about that offline. If you're listening to this and you see the new cover, let us know what you think. No, I think it's pretty cool, or they're pretty cool, the ones that we have, but let's see what people think. No?
No,
I thought
listen,
that you were going
You
to
don't
close.
like it or what?
I think we're always open for feedback from our audience, from our community. So yeah, let us know what you think. Drop comments into the episodes.
Perfect. Well, thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure to do this another year. And thanks to our audience for tuning in. Let us know if you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you in the next episode of the FMCG Guys. Have a great one.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Content in this podcast episode is provided for general informational purposes only. By listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as advice from Dwyer Partners SL, doing business as the FMCG Guys, or the individual author, host, or guests, nor is it intended to be a substitute for research on any subject matter. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by Dwyer Partners SL. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Dwyer Partners SL expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, or inability to use this podcast or the information we presented in this podcast.